What if I told you that everything you've been told about El Salvador is a lie, or at best, a half-truth? For decades, the world has painted this small Central American nation as a hopeless land of gangs, violence, and despair. But what if there's more to the story? Let's peel back the layers and uncover the truth. Lie number 1. El Salvador is just a gang-infested war zone. You've seen the headlines, MS-13, Barrio 18, and a country drowning in crime. And yes, gang violence has been a real problem. In 2015, El Salvador's homicide rate peaked at over 100 per 100,000 people. El Salvador had eclipsed neighboring Honduras as the most violent nation in the Western Hemisphere, following its worst year of violence since the country's civil war had ended. But here's the half-truth they don't tell you. Things have changed. Since 2019, under President Nayib Bukele's aggressive anti-gang policies, homicides have plummeted. By 2023, the rate had dropped to under 2 per 100,000, lower than some U.S. cities. Is it perfect? No. But the narrative of endless chaos, that's outdated. Lie number 2. El Salvador is a failed state with no hope. The Civil War from 1980 to 1992 left scars, 75,000 dead, a shattered economy, and a legacy of mistrust. The U.S. media often frames it as a place stuck in the past, a victim of its own history. But the truth, El Salvador is fighting back. El Salvador is experiencing economic growth with increased foreign investment, tourism, and real estate demands. Security improvements have reduced the crime, boosting confidence for businesses and residents. Infrastructure projects like highways and airport expansions are enhancing connectivity. Tech and financial innovations, including Bitcoin adoption, are attracting global attention. With ongoing development, El Salvador is on a path to long-term prosperity and stability. It's not a fairy tale, but it's far from a failed state. Lie number 3. Everyone in El Salvador is desperately poor. Poverty is real. Nearly 30% of Salvadorians live below the poverty line, and equality persists. But that's not the whole truth. The truth is they're ignoring the growing middle class. El Salvador's middle class is expanding due to economic growth, job creation, and improved security. Foreign investments in entrepreneurship are driving higher incomes and better opportunities. Access to education and financial services is increasing upward mobility. Infrastructure projects and tourism are creating stable employment. With continued development, the middle class is becoming a key driver in the economy. El Salvador isn't just a sob story, it's a nation on the move. Lie number 4. El Salvador's problems are all its own fault. The U.S. loves to point fingers, but let's talk truth. During the Cold War, American support propped up a brutal military regime, funding death squads that killed thousands. The Civil War's chaos birthed the gangs that later spread to the U.S., only to be deported back, worsening the cycle. El Salvador didn't create this mess alone. It inherited a lot of it. Decades of intervention left with deep wounds, shaping instability and economic struggles. U.S. policies fueled migration, then criminalized those seeking refuge. While El Salvador fights to rebuild, it's still dealing with the consequences of foreign interference. Blame is easy, but history tells a different story. But despite this, its people endure, resilient, creative, and proud. Lie number 5. There's nothing worth seeing in El Salvador. This stereotype says it's a dangerous dump, not a destination. But what if I told you El Salvador is one of Central America's best-kept secrets? It's called the land of the volcanoes for a reason. 23 towering peaks shape its breathtaking landscape. Hike Santa Ana for a stunning Crater Lake view, or explore the lava fields of Azalco. But that's just the beginning. Surf the world-class waves of El Tunco, where pros and beginners alike chase the perfect break. If history is more your thing, walk along the ancient Mayan ruins of Tazamel and Joya de Serran, the Pompeii of the Americas. El Salvador may be small, just 8,000 square miles, but it's packed with adventure. Swim in the turquoise waterfalls at Tamanique, kayak through the mangroves of Jiquilisco Bay, or zip line through the lush coffee farms of Ruta de las Flores. And when you need a break, the food scene is a must-try, from pupusas to fresh seafood along the coast. The world's been sleeping on El Salvador, but it won't be for much longer. So what if I told you the El Salvador you've been sold is a false narrative? It's not a paradise, it's got its struggles, its flaws, its shadows, but it's also not the one-dimensional hellscape you've been fed. It's a nation of survivors, dreamers, and fighters rewriting their story. The question is, will you believe the old lies or seek the real truth?
Don't forget to hit the like button.